Hello and welcome to TellerTactGaming, and we will be playing once again Europa Universalis 4. And before we get into picking the nation and all of that, I just want to very quickly go through that if... Oh, sorry, brain fart. But if you consider, if you like this video, consider giving it a like. If you didn't, then dislike by all means. If you subscribe if you want to know when I release my next video, and do not forget to comment if you have something you want to ask or say. Now, if you want to know when I release a whole new series, then consider checking my Twitter. And if you feel like supporting the channel, then head on over to my Patreon page and check that one out. Both links can be found in the description down below or on the channel's about page. And as always, a playlist link will be found in the description down below if you so desire to find it. So, before we do anything else, I'm going to go through the mods I'm using. It's as with the previous, more or less the same. I just added 2 more, which I feel like makes it less tedious and annoying, and at least one of them is, and then the other one just adds a bunch of stuff. And the mod list is as follows: simple fog of war, bigger UI, bigger production UI, TBARW extra user interface, and then from here on out the 2 new ones is colonial nations don't colonize outside their colonial region, and the last one, 1.3 European update map and missions pack mod. So the map is going to look a bit different because of that, because a bunch of nations and provinces and stuff has been added, and more or less all of them, I believe, is what's going to be in the next update, whenever that update comes out. There's no information whatsoever when we could possibly expect it, but regardless, I feel like I want to have the map update and the mission update from which the mod brings in, because it makes a lot of the nations in Europe slightly better, and it makes it a bit more random. But what we are going to be playing is this lovely dovely nation called Muscovy. We played as Milan before, and Italy is, well, on par with tech. Like, they are up on, like, ahead of time on tech basically all the time, especially if you're a republic. Muscovy, on the other hand, out here in Russian region, you're probably not going to be. I did play a few like test runs, and actually one test run in Iron Man mode, just to see how far behind you're going to be. And yeah, as you can see here, I have the Iron Man test Russia. But we are going to once again do normal mode, because first off, we have a bunch of yeah, as you can see, EU4 is running a mod or is altered in other ways, so we can't earn achievements anyway. There's no achievement I want, so, and it's easier, and to make the series a bit more interesting and not drag on and be boring, I need it to be in normal mode so I can have the console commands. But anyway, let's start. And any day now, there we go. So we start with a bunch of units. It's 26. Before anyone goes ahead and start wondering if the mission packs, like the mod which updates the missions for many nations, it doesn't change for Muscovy or Russia, so it's exactly the same. And the first one which we want is to take out Novgorod, and we will be able to get permanent claims on all of Novgorod, but for that we need to have a total army size at least 100% of the force limit. We're not really there yet, though we can actually get there. So before we unpause, and I'm going to, there we go. If we then see here, I do know we should be able to. Now, one thing that I am going to allow myself to do is to remove the boyars from a lot of provinces, because take a look, all the red here is the boyars. I'm going to keep the clergy. That's absolutely fine, but the boyars has Nizhny Novgorod, which is a center of trade, and that's not allowed. And a bunch of like good, like very good goods provinces like Vyatka, Vologda, Kostroma, and so on is occupied by the boyars. And yeah, so I'm going to remove them, like cheat remove them. Once I can remove, like click them in a year, then I'm going to remove them and then sort of cheatily remove them by giving loyalty back to the boyar, so I can just keep on removing without spending manpower. But that's basically the only thing I'm going to allow when it comes to that. Other than that, I do have a few rules to like keep it interesting and not just sit still forever and ever. It of course depends. It's conditional, so it depends on what happens with alliances. And what it means is that I can break alliance when it comes to Denmark and Poland once. So I can break Poland's alliance once, I can break Denmark's alliance once, and I can break Ottoman's alliances twice. because yeah, the Ottomans is just way too OP, and they bounce back very easily. Now, other than that, we don't really have any other things I'm going to allow myself, other than when it comes to leaders. We might have very bad army tradition, which means we can't get good leaders. So if my leaders, if I lose one, I can cheat myself a new leader if I buy one that is worse than a certain amount of pips in total. But I can't make a better general than, like, if I remember correctly, I said like 10 pips. So I can't make a god general. I can make a decent one. I wrote it down somewhere, and we will get to it when that's a thing. Now let's pick our rivals, and the Novgorod. There we go. Now it's basically 1 month before we can do it, but ish. It's not exactly, it's slightly more. What we are going to need to, oh right, that's the one I needed to do. What we are going to need, like, what we need to do is to build up to our force limit. So the force limit has to be increased, or rather, not, the army needs to be built up to the force limit. Let's, and that's 12. We have enough money and manpower. I have tested this, so it should be fine. Even if you don't get a cavalry from the Cossacks, you can actually just spend all your manpower to get up to 100% force limit. Let's see here. All right. If we because what I'm going to do is put 13, 13, so it's 17 in both of them. And what I'm going to do is, when these basically are built and it's more or less 14 days left, I'm going to make one mercenary, because mercenaries still count towards your force limit. So if we now build one mercenary, and boom, we can do this. As long as I click this, I can remove whatever units we don't want. So as long as I click this, we are good. Now we have it, we can remove it. We aren't really viable for this because we're not at 100%, because we're one too few, but it doesn't matter. Let's do all of this. There we go. And let's wait for... There we go. Oh. Are you allied to anyone? No, you're allied to Novgorod, and that's it. Oh, interesting. Because here's the thing. To form Russia, we have to control Ryazan, the province of it. Not the whole nation, but just Ryazan. And then we need Tver and Yaroslav. And yeah, this is actually the first time I have seen these two in an alliance. The funny thing here is that we could co-belligerent and then just vassalize them. And I think I will. Yeah, I will do that. And we have enough, so we shouldn't have any problems. And let's... Yeah, that's a really bad one, but still, he has a siege pip, which is better than nothing. Now, before we do anything, what we need to do is put you to do spy network in Great Horde. Always allied with Uzbek. It's really annoying, but still. Can I... Yeah, I should be able to move these. Yeah, so this is basically your opening move as Muscovy. You start a war. That's that's really all you want to do. You want to start a war. Because if you don't, you most likely will get caught in a situation where the AI just creates alliances all over the place, so you can't attack anymore, or even worse, that Denmark attacks Novgorod and takes a bunch of stuff you want. Problem with Denmark is that he can very easily get alliances down in Europe, which can make it really annoying. It's not guaranteed, but probably will be very annoying. Well, I have absolutely no manpower, which sucks, but it is what it is. What I need to do here is actually bring these. No. Like that. And I need to have the siege general over there and then have the fighting general somewhere else. No, renounce the claim. I don't need that claim on my vassal. Yeah, I won. It was very close, but still I did. Okay, Poland did get the union. A bit poopy, but they usually take it. I think it's like, it's something like 25% chance of not taking it and 75% chance of taking it. So they usually take it. It's really rare for them to not take it. Let's see. Can I vassalize you? No, I can't. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Now I do want this one here. It's really annoying to do this chicken race with the AI, where you're going to basically have to guess where they are going to try to run away to. And the thing is, the AI can perfectly see in the fog of war, but they pretend that they can't do it, whereas you really can't do it. And let's move over here. The reason why I just did one province and nothing else is because of the mission that is Tame the Steppes, which require us to have at least one province in the Tambov area, which 2 of them is in Great Horde and 1 of the 3 is in Kazan. And only 2 of them is claimable. And then we need to convert it, and we will get a bunch of permanent claims on Great Horde and Kazan. I think some of the Nogai as well. Now, oh, if we can take this one, we will actually... there we go. We have 100%, so they can't refuse. Now, it's going to cost us 101 Diplo to do this. That sucks, but... okay. Whatever. What we should do is, before we actually... alright, we can't do that one. Before we actually, like, end the war, we should increase our chances of not getting unloyal ones. Here we go. No, don't want to do that. And let's go to you and you. Let's take all of your money, so in case, just in case, we can possibly... yeah, and he's unloyal quite a lot. Almost got him loyal. If we could do it a bit more. Would be great. Now, what we need to do here is actually... there is a few things you could do. You could, like, block into it. You could take all up like this, so Denmark and Sweden and Livonian Order can't take anything. You could do something like this. Now, I really like taking Novgorod because it's a really good province, and it also means that this way Novgorod will be very easy to defeat next time, for 2 reasons. One, they don't have any high value provinces left other than Ladoga, basically. and they have no forts other than their capital. So they are very easy to actually attack the next time. Though, this way, if we leave Torsok as it is, Tver could attack and take something. Now, not necessarily possible for them to take anything, but we'll see. And yeah, we'll just do that. Here we go. And let's see. Can I? Yes, I can. Now, what I'm going to do is actually remove the boyars from many provinces. As you can see, we have a decrease when removing from one province by 30. The loyalty goes down by 30, and it's really insane. And I really don't like that. Which is why I shy away from many nations in Iron Man, because they have a very bad placement of like nobles or boyars, whatever they're called, the noble estate. But I'm going to do this, and as you can see, I know this without having to think even. Yeah, it's really expensive. It's not good to do because you actually sort of destroy your provinces. But still, I feel like I do this one, and let's say, yeah. And then we have 45, so we don't even have it at 50. I think that's a good middle ground. No, I could actually take it up to 50. There we go. It actually has some sensible provinces. And then we give this one to the burger, and that's about it. We could give this one as well, but alright, he's in debt. I don't have enough money to pay him off. I might have enough soonish, but we'll see. Going to have to do this. You should go up there, go down there. Let's not fund the army completely. We are a great power. Novgorod is no longer a valid rival. That's usually what happens, so I'm not surprised. Here's the reason why we want to attack Great Horde, because we can actually take one province and do humiliate rival, which means we get this one. And this is really important to get like Splendor. Getting Splendor is super important because we want to take Norway. You're going to see why when we get there. But we are almost at the end of the episode, the absolute first one. Can turn that one off, save a bit of money. And it's allied to Crimea and Mogulistan. Okay, allied to Uzbek, and that's it. Yeah, if I could get some manpower back, that would be great. Yeah, that would be super good. Now, what we need to do right now, and I'm going to do it before I end, just so I remember, is to suck as much stuff out of these guys as possible. Remove that one. Yeah, sure. I think doing that one is okay. There we go. And yeah, so that was the first episode. We actually managed to do the war, and yeah, as the thing with Muscovy is to destroy Novgorod as quickly as possible, take over Tver and Ryazan and Odoyev as quickly as possible. So like Poland, Livonian Order, Denmark, so no one like these guys can take anything from the Russian region. And then you want to do a quick war against like Kazan or Great Horde, and then you're probably going to need to sit on this until you can convert the province. But yeah, so that has been this first episode of the series, and we are going to end here and continue on in the next. So I say thanks for watching, goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.